Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Punisher on a Friday. We've made it to the end of the week again. I hope that everybody enjoyed the Hump Day drop. It was fabulous. And of course, did you watch The Eye? The Eye came out yesterday afternoon. Fabulous news, continuing on with the deep state. Be sure you subscribe here. What an action-packed week. What an action-packed week. I have a couple of things at the end that I'll talk about. But in the meantime, Maryland school districts continuing to try and push their woke policies, this gender dysphoria. They have policies in place where they continue to try and keep secrets from parents that allows children to transition and use pronouns, and then they keep it from the parents. What planet are we on where teachers think they have more rights than the very people who bore those children? Are you out of your minds? Are you completely out of your minds? Meanwhile, folks, we have teachers that are basically children. You got teachers fresh out of college. They don't even have kids in many cases. And they're trying to treat kids. This is wrong. You're talking about children who don't even know what they're doing. They don't even understand the decisions they're making. How many times does this need to be spoken? I'm tired of it. It's absolutely nuts. Maryland, you're on your ass on this. You are on your ass. Thank you, Wes. Meanwhile, speaking of Democrat policies, Zohran Mamdani up there, New York, for those in the city who voted for the mayor, you're getting what you deserved, okay? This is typical Democrat stuff 101. You make promises that you cannot keep, that you know you can't keep, and you secure votes only to come back and tell the folks you can't deliver, or just simply don't deliver and don't do a thing. Democrats are famous for lying to low-income blacks, inner city folks, and telling them that they're going to come and save their lives. And what do? Zippo. They never come back. They get into office, and they don't ever visit those people. They don't help them. It's fact, ladies and gentlemen. So what does Zohran do? Promise the whole thing with the free buses. Free buses. He had to come out today and say, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen in the year 2026. The entire year is almost left, 8 months or so, 8.5 months, and nothing. He's not going to do it because he can't do it, because somebody has to pay for this, folks. And by the way, I was watching The Five yesterday, and Jesse did the research for me. I didn't have to do it. He said, what cities have ever offered free buses? And they found something up in Kansas back in 2020 or so. And they tried to give free bus tickets, bus rides to individuals. Guess what? They now charge again. Guess why? Because people were getting on the buses with no destinations and just lounging on the buses. You know what that amounts to? A freaking homeless camp on wheels. I give him credit for that term, but that's a true statement. Now you got people just riding buses, getting out of the weather, and going nowhere. That ain't going to work, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, Iran, we're trying with the ceasefire. We've got a couple of ships through the strait. Iran is trying to charge a fee. You know what? This is international waters. We should tell them, screw off. Nobody owns that. Everybody goes through free. This is absolute nonsense. But they handed out their 10-point plan, which we summarily dismissed. Are you crazy? They basically said in their 10 points, I can't remember them all, but it was things like, we will be allowed to control the strait. We will be allowed to produce nuclear weapons. We will be able to do everything that Trump doesn't want us to do. That was their 10 points. Of course we're going to decline them. And that's the very reason you can't give Iran a nuclear weapon. I've said this before. All these countries feel like they're independent. They feel like they should be able to do what's right for their country. They feel like they should be able to have a nuclear weapon just like the United States. The difference? The Middle East are freaking nuts. That's the difference. Iran is the number one state sponsor of terror for the last 47 years. How many times we need to say this? They get a nuclear weapon, they'll use it. That is the problem. They're too crazy, and they will use it. And then they would truly control all of the oil and the strait and everything over there. So no, they cannot get a weapon. We cannot let them, and the world should be with us in not letting them. Melania came out, Miss Melania Trump, First Lady, and she said, I need to put an end to all of this fake story crap about her and Epstein. She said she didn't know Epstein. They socialized at a couple of parties in the early 2000s, but she still didn't know him. They were just in the same place at the same time. And then people are running these stories saying that she's somehow associated with Epstein, that Epstein helped Trump, meet her. Complete lies. So she gave a 3-minute speech or so, put it to rest, and left without answering any questions, and I don't blame her. Meanwhile, I have to welcome all of my MMIWG2S, LGBTQIA plus patriots here on the show. Why did I say that? Because this woman up in Canada, some sort of council member or whatever, uttered that acronym on TV in all seriousness, and I just have to play that video behind me. In fact, I'm going to let it play and come back to you.
Perhaps the most insane gender acronym known to mankind.
When the budget was released, I was shocked to find out that Prime Minister Carney is cutting $7 billion between Indigenous Services Canada and Crown Indigenous Relations. They provided $0 to deal with the ongoing genocide of MMIW, G2S, LGBTQIA+. This is abhorrent.
Folks, was that freaking loony bin type of talk or what? MMIW G2S LGBTQIA+. Say that fast. That's almost as bad as supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Hell, I can say that easier. Here's the problem I have always had. These are people who use that whole alphabet in the name of inclusivity, okay? All right, if they're so damn inclusive, where the hell is the H? That's what I'm asking. Where the hell is the H for hetero? So I'm going to add MMIW G2S LGBTQIA plus H. Ladies and gentlemen, I am instituting the H on the end for full inclusivity. These people are sick. They are sick in the brain. They got it in the brain. That's crazy. Meanwhile, this Ma'am Donnie I was talking about, and all the talk about equity. Look, folks, screw equity, okay? Equality? Yes, everybody has the same choices, same opportunities in these United States to go out and excel. But when you keep talking about charging the rich more on taxes, them paying their fair share, when the rich pay the majority of the taxes, ladies and gentlemen, the rich pay like freaking 90-some% of all taxes in the United States of America, and you're trying to squeeze more out of this turnip? Folks, no. I work my ass off. You can care for people and be conscious about those that don't do so well, but that doesn't mean you distribute the wealth of hardworking people throughout the United States in order to make everybody the same. That's called communism. We won't deal with it here. So, again, MMIWG2S, LGBTQIA plus H in the house. And with that, we are on Operation Q-Tip 2.0. We will stay there. You know it. Oh, I know what the American people do know it. Operation Q-Tip 2.0 is a spectacular operation, one of the best ever. I know everybody loves that their graphic that I made on that too. So while you're Q-tipping your ears each morning, that should remind you about Operation Q-tip 2.0. The very name will remind you to clean out your ears. And for those who don't need a reminder to clean out their ears, they'll clean out their ears and remember Q-tip 2.0. And with that, Screw James White Bulger, we shall talk to you later. Goodbye. Cheers, mate. Cut. Son of a gun. MMIWG2 SLGBTQ QIA plus H.